we finally did it. We reached one of the greatest arcs in One Piece history. Oh, Water 7? I thought we were talking about Orange Town. Hello everyone, and welcome to my review for each arc in One Piece. I'm continuing my journey into the iconic Water 7 saga with, you guessed it, Water 7. Everybody says this and the following arcs are referred to as Peak Piece, the best One Piece has to offer, the cream of your mom's crop. So what makes this arc so great? And spoiler alert, it's really good. Well, that's what I'm here to show you. So board the train, cut ties with your best friend for being on the latest episode of My Strange Addiction, and watch The Masked Singer take a horrible turn as we ride to Water 7. In Ocean's Paradise. Water 7 is 35 episodes and 53 chapters. Right off the bat, the Straw Hats are up to some more wacky shenanigans as they follow Yokozuna, the 3-time gold medalist Olympic swimmer doing the front crawl. However, something stops them in the middle of the ocean. A bunch of red lights start flashing to warn them of a loud and angry iron snake fast approaching their direction and puffing smoke.
You mean a train? You know, that thing that we always use for traveling around? Are boats just like the only form of transportation in this world?
After dodging near death for the 33rd time this month, they meet Granny Kokodo, the station master of the sea train who drinks alcohol more often than you breathe.
My name's Luffy, and I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Literally nobody asked, Luffy. I understand it's your passion and all, but chill the fuck out, dude. You're almost as bad as Naruto.
The Straw Hats ask if there's a town around as they want to fix the Going Merry. Kokodo tells them to go to Water 7, which has some of the best shipwrights in the world. The Straw Hats head to Water 7 with the goal of recruiting a shipwright.
Well, I'll get the hottest girl in town guaranteed.
What do I care if the shipwright's hot? I want a huge, manly dude.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Welcome to Water 7, the capital of water. A paradise island clearly inspired by Venice, the citizens use seahorses known as bulls to travel around town. The people are so friendly that they'll even tell random criminals the proper way to traverse through the island. Luffy, Nami, and Usopp head into Water 7 to exchange the gold they got from Skypiea to use for ship repairs.
That's a big bag. Can I ask what's inside?
Boy Hancock feet pics.
As long as the Mary gets repaired, I'll be happy.
After Nami threatens the bank appraiser's entire family, the Straw Hats are living it up with 300 million berries.
Which, when you think about it, that's basically the equivalent of like 3 Luffys.
Luffy's team arrives at the heart of Water 7, Galley Law, home of the best and strongest shipwrights in the world. They talk to one of the workers, Square Usopp, aka Kaku, about repairing the Going Merry. After playing way too much Sonic Generations 2, Kaku pulls off the Water 7 any% speedrun to check on the ship. Luffy meets Iceberg, the boss of Galley Law and mayor of Water 7. Also his pet rat. His name's Tyrannosaurus. While Usopp is just walking around and casually carrying $200 million, he gets jumped by a gang called the Frankie family.
Usopp, I love you, man, but who the hell just casually strolls around with $200 million?
Kaku finally comes back with his analysis on the ship, and it's not looking good for the Straw Hats. Because the keel is badly damaged, Kaku says that the Going Merry can't be fixed. Meanwhile, Robin and Chopper are off shopping and notice a lot of people are wearing masks for what seems like an upcoming festival.
CP9.
Am I supposed to know what that means? Is that like a band or a movie? I don't know. What do you think, Chopper? Ah, right. You are a fucking reindeer. I seriously need to get off these meds. When Chopper exits the bookstore, Robin is missing. I'm sure it's nothing. Because the Straw Hats can never have nice things, they finally realize that their 200 million is missing, and they go looking for it. Nami comes across Usopp doing what he always does, knocked out and bloodied, surrounded by a crowd of people in some alley.
What else is new? This literally happens like twice in arc at this point.
Usopp says that the Frankie family took the money and he feels ashamed for not being strong enough to stop them. But at the Frankie house, the family celebrates their new 200 million with their boss, Frankie.
Show yourself! What fool would dare to oppose the Frankie family?
Oh boy, the Frankie family is screwed now. Only Luffy would be dumb enough to dive just headfirst into enemy territory.
Damn it. Like a low-level character fighting the final boss at the beginning of the game, Usopp raids the Frankie family to get the money back. Receiving his second L of the arc, Usopp is unable to get the money back and Frankie leaves. The rest of the Straw Hats gather around to find Usopp doing the iconic Yamcha pose. Then they head over to Frankie's house to get revenge.
Now, only in One Piece can you just have characters walking in silence for a good 3 minutes with Overtaken just blasting in the background be like the coolest fucking thing ever.
Luffy's squad bullies the Frankie family and gives them the gift of being homeless. At this point, Luffy decides it's time to say goodbye to the Going Merry.
I mean, it sucks because we've been with the Going Merry since episode 17, but I mean, it's for the best. Hopefully everybody will understand, but even if they're kind of against it, they're all adult enough to come to a logical conclusion and talk things out as friends without any unnecessary drama, right?
Wrong. Back at the ship, Usopp wakes up and Luffy tells him the unfortunate news that the Going Merry can't be fixed and they need a new ship.
Ooh, maybe a lion this time.
Like playing League of Legends online, Usopp gets hella tilted, mad that they just get rid of the Going Merry and he's unwilling to listen to reason.
I can't believe that's the kind of captain you turned out to be!
Luffy felt
You stay out of there!
Hey guys, sorry I've been gone for so long. I ran into this CP9 guy and... I'll come back later.
Usopp decides to leave the crew, as he felt he was only brought on out of pity. Then to top it off, he challenges Luffy to a duel.
Sadly, no, not with convoluted card games, but with the good old fisticuffs. And whoever wins gets to keep the Going Merry.
Night falls and the two prepare to fight. It's very obvious who's going to win, but what really matters is the emotional weight behind the fight.
Now, this is a very shocking turn of events, because, I mean, the Straw Hats have had their arguments here and there, but majority of the time, it's usually meant for comedy or just small things that really aren't a big deal. But this time, it's kind of a big deal.
We've seen the Merry get damaged on many occasions, but it never seemed like a big deal, because they would just repair it and keep on sailing.
The fact that there's actually consequences for their actions that develops through the story, since like Reverse Mountain, is a really cool detail to see finally take effect.
And now, without further ado, the epic battle of Luffy versus Usopp.
I told you it was extremely obvious who was gonna win.
Luffy decides to let Usopp have the ship while they go get a new one. Usopp has now officially left the crew.
I'm fighting for my life!
Breaking news at Water 7. The iconic ship known as the Titanic just got its revenge as Mr. Iceberg was recently discovered to have just been shot. But as of now, it is unclear who done it. But we here at Water 7 News will keep you updated. Stay tuned for more. The chaos continues as Frankie comes back after partying it up all night, only to find he doesn't have a house anymore.
What the fuck? That's honestly one of the scariest things to find out after returning home. That there is no home.
The boys let Frankie know that none other than the Straw Hats were responsible for all of this. And so the king of the underworld goes to pay Straw Hat Luffy a visit. With the news of Iceberg's attempted assassination, Luffy and Nami go to see him along with the rest of the town, assembling the perfect audience for... Look, I really like Frankie, alright? Frankie immediately starts throwing hands by unveiling his devil fruit powers. This is the Spice fruit. He's able to shoot hot flames from his mouth.
Oh, right. Duh, there's no spice fruit. Okay, so he must have eaten the chain fruit to, like, make his body shoot out chains, right? Because, I mean, you can't be able to do all that kind of stuff without some sort of devil fruit power.
I'm just a normal guy with some extra parts. A cyborg, you might say.
The cyborg fruit? Is that, like, some kind of zone or paramecia type?
During all the commotion, Iceberg wakes up and starts snitching, saying how the ones who were responsible for the incident were a large man in a mask and Nico Robin. Since she's a member of the Straw Hat Pirates, Galley Law are ready to rumble with Monkey D. Luffy. Galley Law interrupts the fight to start a completely different fight.
Whoa, wait, did we already start Enies Lobby?
They take a 5-minute break from the fight for Paulie to tell Luffy that Robin was the one who shot Iceberg. The news quickly gets out, turning the Straw Hat Pirates into enemies of Water 7. Luffy and Nami leave the scene to try and figure things out. Over at Blue Nose Bar,
I'm gonna ignore that.
Frankie arrives at the bar to get some cola, as that's the secret to his cyborg powers. Frankie talks to Granny Kokoro, as they're apparently really good friends. She warns him that the secret government organization known as CP9 might be responsible for the attack on Iceberg. Elsewhere, Sanji and Chopper are on the hunt for Robin. They've looked all over but can't seem to find her. Then Chopper gets a familiar scent and follows it. Lo and behold, they find Robin. They try to talk to her, but she simply tells them that she is responsible for the attack on Iceberg and leaves the crew.
A broken ship lost $200 million. You're wanted by the entire city, and now you just lost 2 crew members. Ugh, the Straw Hats are having a rough time this arc.
Atop a random building, Chopper informs the gang about what Robin told them. In order to fully figure out this whole mess, the gang plan to talk to Iceberg tonight, as it's likely Robin will kill Iceberg. Breaking news at Water 7. This year's Aqua Laguna is estimated to be one of the worst ones yet. For those unaware, Aqua Laguna is an annual storm that floods the city, causing it to sink to the bottom of the ocean little by little. So please, take the necessary precautions and make sure you and your family stay safe. We'll update you shortly. Later at night, Galley Law is armed to the teeth all around the palace, ready for the Straw Hats to attack.
What the fuck is going on this arc?
CP9's operation begins, while one of the members fights off the entire Galley Law Corporation. Robin and the Masked Man head on over to Iceberg's room to finish what they started. With the powers of the Door fruit, this CP9 agent is able to turn anything he touches into a door, allowing him to enter any room undetected.
No matter how thick it may be, I simply touch it and it opens for me.
He asks Iceberg where the blueprints are for a certain weapon. The ancient weapon Pluton that Crocodile has been looking for back in Alabasta. Iceberg and Robin whip out the nines and have a Mexican standoff. Iceberg knows all about Robin's dark past. She's been on the run from the world government for 2 decades since she was only 8 years old. All because she's the last survivor of the Ohara incident, and the only one who can read the ancient language of the poneglyphs.
Shall I give you an autograph?
Yes, please!
All the members of CP9 gather around Iceberg's room, and what comes next is one of the biggest twists in the series. The members of CP9 were citizens of Water 7, Bluno from the bar, Khalifa the assistant, Kaku and Lucci the shipwrights. These are government assassins of CP9, who've been in hiding for the past 5 years, waiting for this one moment.
I can just imagine how much of a crazy reveal this was at the time. Because, I mean, I knew about this going into this arc, but Oda did such a fantastic job of not revealing their identities and just having them be, you know, regular wacky side characters that we'd see in every other arc.
Lucci uses his human lie detector to find out where Iceberg hid the blueprints for Pluton. Turns out our super cyborg, Franky, originally known as Cuddy Flam, oh my god, his parents must have despised him to give him a name like that, is the one with the documents they need. Just then, the Straw Hats burst into the room to confront CP9. And Polly is also there having a major meltdown right now. Luffy tries to grab Robin, but Blueno stops him and shows off the 6 powers of Cypher Pole. Iron Body, you're a Metapod now. Paper Art, able to move like paper in the wind. Shave, you're faster than your dad going to get some milk. Moonwalk, able to jump up in the air. Tempest Kick, your legs are basically swords now. And finally, Finger Pistol. You just poke people like really hard. With these 6 techniques, Luffy and Zoro are no match for CP9. They call out to Robin, but she tells them that she won't be coming back to the crew as her final wish to accomplish her goals no matter what. Then Robin heads out. Don't worry guys, she's fine. And Lucci unveils his greatest secret of all.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Lucci is indeed a furry. The ultimate villain.
With the powers of the Cat Fruit, model a really fucking jacked leopard, he easily yeets Luffy and Zoro out the building. As CP9 leaves, Galley Law goes up in flames, and they search for Franky. Speaking of Franky, he yoinks Usopp as an attempt to lure the Straw Hat crew. Franky tries to spread the hocus pocus pyramid scheme of a Klabautermon, the spirit of the ship that comes alive when its owners are good-hearted people.
Is that like some new sort of Digimon or
Papa John?
Oh boy!
Get it!
Oh no, it's Pizza Hut!
While CP9 kicks Franky's ass for the blueprints, we get a flashback of his master Tom, the jolly old shipwright who saved Water 7 with manly gusto. 22 years ago, small Franky used to build crazy battleships. He lived together with Iceberg, Yokozuna, Kokoro, who used to be a 2 out of 10, and Tom, the greatest shipwright who once built Gold Roger's ship. Water 7 was a terrible town, heading towards poverty and destruction by Aqua Laguna. Tom is taken to trial by the Navy for his involvement with Gold Roger and is sentenced to death. Tom pleads with his new idea for an ingenious invention filled with manly gusto to help bring Water 7 back what it used to be by creating the Sea Train. In 10 years' time, he will build the Sea Train. One montage later, and the Sea Train is built. However, one government agent doesn't like happy endings, as he's aware of Tom's biggest secret.
Spandam, the head of CP5, interrogates Tom about the blueprints for Pluton, but Tom denies this and just laughs it off. The word spreads about Tom's new sentence. Since he saved Water 7, his charges will be dropped. Finally, everything is back to normal. Welcome to One Piece, where nothing good ever happens.
Medium Franky sees his battleships attacking the judicial ship. Spandam ordered his men to attack Water 7 in order to place the blame on Tom so he can be executed.
Pirates. Or worse, the government.
You know, it says a lot about the world government when people would rather have to deal with actual criminals than the organization that's supposed to be on your side.
Tom and Iceberg try to stop the ships, but get ambushed by another fleet. Jesus, Medium Franky, how many of these did you make?
This is one of the special harpoons I made. Once it pierces its target, you can't pull it out.
Franky, what the fuck? Why would you make that?
Medium Franky watches in horror the damage his creations cause to everyone. Tom is taken to the judicial ship for his judgment, and this time, I don't see it going too well. Over at the trial, Medium Franky tells everyone that Spandam was responsible, but nobody believes him. Feeling guilty for building the ships, Medium Franky denies that he created them, which triggers Tom, causing him to just lash out and start punching everybody. Tom asks the judge to use his pardon on the attack of the judicial ship while still keeping keeping his initial charge of building Gold Roger's ship, as that's something he has great pride in. Then they take Tom onto the sea train to be executed at Enies Lobby.
And now for one of my favorite moments in Water 7.
Medium Frankie stands right in front of the tracks and does everything he can to stop the sea train, but to no avail. So he pulls the chattest move ever by managing to stop a moving train for just 1 second. And before he gets Thanos-snapped by the sea train, he declares his dream of building a ship that can sail across the world.
I love this moment so much in Water 7. Just that image of Frankie stopping an entire train by himself, even for a split second, is probably the first thing I think about when I remember Water 7. And I feel like Frankie's entire flashback as a whole is super underrated.
We cut back to present day, and CP9 have a special visitor who'd like to see Frankie. Spandam has returned to seek his revenge and is now the boss of CP9. Kaku adds even more trauma to Usopp by letting the Mary fall to the bottom of the ocean. Then they take them onto the sea train to Enies Lobby. Over at the sea train port, all the Navy and Cypher Pole agents gather around, and waiting in the shadows is our shining Prince Sanji, on a mission to rescue his Dark Princess. Meanwhile, Chopper manages to save Iceberg and Polly from the burning building. Iceberg reveals the truth to Nami. Robin actually surrendered herself to the government in exchange for the Straw Hat's safety. Knowing that Robin actually cares for them, Nami and Chopper look for Luffy and Zoro. Eventually, they find the dweeb stuck yet again. Nami monologues for 5 minutes about friendship or whatever, and Luffy breaks free, ready to save Robin. Now that the boys are finally free, the gang are ready to save Robin. Granny Kokodo shows them the sea train prototype Rocket Man. The Frankie family plead to join to save their bro, and Gallilaw wants payback. With this alliance formed, they take Rocket Man to Enies Lobby. But their first obstacle is getting past the biggest Aqua Laguna in Water 7 history.
Not even making a dent.
This water's one tough son of a bitch.
Fear not, Gallilaw. Watch as our saviors, who follow the words of God, part the seas just as Moses once did via a Beyblade. All is possible through the power of Christ. Amen. Over on the sea train, Sanji's basically in one of those side-scroller beat-em-ups, going cart to cart, fighting Cypher Pole agents and the Navy.
Oh shit!
At the checkpoint, Sanji finds the weird-nosed, boat-loving, lying, two-faced, traitorous bitch! And Frankie too. With 2 new party members, they continue walking along the sea train. However, Usopp doesn't want to get involved, but he understands the importance of saving Robin. So he calls in just the man for the job. Introducing... With their new companion, they continue along the sea train. Next is T-Bone, a powerful rear admiral. But he gets bamboozled by the boys, leaving his cart in the middle of the ocean. No need to fear, as Luffy's ship is here to pick him up. But then they encounter the rear admiral. It's now Zoro versus T-Bone. This is Zoro's toughest challenge yet. Truly a fight to remember.
Already forgot. What were we doing? Oh, right. Sanji's team.
In the next cart is the dangerous martial arts noodle chef, Wanzi.
Yeah, we're not doing with that.
Sanji and Frankie are now face to face with CP9. Meanwhile, the invincible Sniper King sneaks over to Robin's cart and tries to get her to escape. Creeped out by his antics, Robin reinforces that she doesn't want to be a part of the Straw Hats anymore. But fuck boundaries. Sanji's gang grabs Robin and skedaddle on out of there. But CP9 won't let them go so easily. They take down Sanji and Sniper King, then grab Robin. As a last-ditch effort, Frankie sacrifices himself so they can escape. Luckily, Luffy's gang comes across Sanji and picks him up. Meanwhile, day breaks as the white lights of justice shine down on the lowly criminals. They've arrived at Enies Lobby, moments away from judgment. To be continued.
And that's the end of the Water 7 arc. It's a fantastic arc. The city of Water 7 is probably my favorite location we've been to so far. Gallilaw are a great band of side characters, with Polly being my favorite, and I just love the idea of someone fighting with rope. Speaking of fighting, there's surprisingly a lot of action in this arc, with the main one, of course, being Luffy versus Usopp, which, when you hear that, you'd think it'll be a complete curb stomp, but Usopp was actually able to hold his own for a second. Frankie is a super amazing character, and I feel like his flashback further solidifies that. And I appreciate his more antagonistic introduction, like with Robin at the beginning, only for him to be organically more likable by everyone as the show moves forward. And there is so much drama in this arc. You have the Straw Hats dealing with the Mary, the whole Usopp leaving the crew, Robin leaving the crew, figuring out who shot Iceberg. Like, there's so many different things that happen within 35 episodes. It's insane. All in all, Water 7 is considered by many, myself included, to be one of the best arcs in the series, and it's arguable that the next arc we'll talk about is considered to be even better. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole YouTube shebang, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.